Hello, Paula. How are you? Paula, I can't hear you. Yeah. Are you
Oh,
speaking?
hi. Can you
Ah,
hear me
yeah.
now?
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
how are
How are
you? Hi,
you?
Nick. Hi, Kyle. Sorry, I was talking.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Good.
Hi.
A little bit cold here, São Paulo,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, yeah. But it's good. But our cold is not the totally cold as USA. It is so
Mm-hmm.
warm. Here it's
Gonna say I don't think Sao Paulo cold is the
yeah,
same as Boston
it's
cold.
Yeah,
I think.
no.
here is hot and tired
Yeah.
the time, but
No,
it's a
it's
little
no.
bit cold. Yeah. Let me show you the Fahrenheit here. It's 58 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah. It's not as bad.
Oh, the border between Germany and the Netherlands. Where about? What city or town, Hans? We got Houston. Ah, okay. Yeah, very cool. So we're right at the top of the hour now. It is 1 p.m. Eastern for everyone who's already joined. Thank you very much. We're going to give it a couple more minutes here for folks to trickle in and get situated, probably kick off around 5 after. So if you want to step away and get a water or some more coffee, bathroom break, whatever you need before we get started, we'll be here. And thanks again for joining.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
Good, good. And you?
Good, 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 good.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. Just one more reminder, we're going to get started here in about 2 or 3 minutes. So if you want to grab a beverage real quick, coffee, water, whatever your pleasure, we will get started here shortly. Let us know in the chat where you're joining from if you haven't already. We always love to see where we get people in from. Christian, I had to thumbs down your terrible joke. Kidding. I did not put it in the chat.
I follow engineer that do a lot of stuff for kids, and then the box that come with for the kids has this. That is why I remember that. I can send a picture.
It stuck with you. I love it. Hey, Lee. All right. Well, we're about 4 after. And Nick, I know you've got some other commitments, so I don't want to hold you up. So we can go ahead and get the meeting started here. So as you can see on the screen here, this is the June-ish DataDev Tableau User Group meeting. We had meant to do this in the month of June, and our challenges are usually named after the month. Timing got in our way, so we're 1 day late. So we'll just call this June-ish instead of July. So we do plan to have another meeting at the end of this month. So welcome. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. We're so happy to see you here. We're just going to get right into it. So my name is Kyle Massey. I'm a Tableau DataDev Ambassador and Visionary. And on the line with us are several of our other leaders that you can see on the screen here. We've got Christian with us today. We've got Paula with us today. Also amongst our leadership group are Marcelo and Jordan. We are all ambassadors and visionaries. And we all just have a passion for sharing DataDev with everybody, making it presentable for everybody. So that's why you're here. And so we're going to dive right on in. I am going to turn on Q&A. So if other folks, if you could watch that in the chat, Q&A is now open. So our agenda for today, like if you've been to many of our other meetings, many of them, the format is pretty similar. We're going to start off with some housekeeping, some announcements, and a quick intro to DataDevQuest. If you've not joined us before, we'll do a quick recap of DataDev Day that occurred earlier in June. And we're going to start reviewing our existing challenges from last month, which was working with some hyperfile operations. And then we'll move into the new challenges for the month. And then a reminder to meet up with us on our DataDev community wherever you can. And we might have a special surprise somewhere in here. So without further ado, let's get started. So big announcement for everyone on the line. If you're not familiar, the Tableau Ambassador Program is a program where the vendor Tableau, Salesforce, looks for people in the community who are leaders. And it says here, I won't read the thing exactly, but basically looking for leaders who share their passion, enable folks, share great content, write blog posts, lead user groups, all of the things that makes the Data Fam what it is. Those are in large part thanks to the ambassadors. So the nominations for the next cohort of ambassadors is open now, and it is open until, I believe, July the 20th. If you scan the QR code here on the screen, you can go straight to the blog post that includes a link on how to nominate folks for these ambassadorships. The program's been a little bit streamlined this year, so if you've done nominations in the past, it's even easier and even quicker to do. So don't be like me and procrastinate. Go ahead and get this done. Think of those people who are inspiring you every day, who you are learning things from, whose blog posts you just can't live without. And yourself, right? Like this is a great time to nominate yourself, to sing your own praises, talk about all of the things that you're doing, because just because you might not feel like people are noticing, they really are. And sometimes when we get a nudge from someone like, oh, maybe I haven't heard this name before, and then we go and look, and there's a literal treasure trove of work that this person is putting out there. So make sure and brag about yourself, nominate people who've made a difference to you or a difference in the Data Fam. This is the time for us to really celebrate ourselves. So really encourage everybody on the call, whether you're an ambassador or a visionary or you're brand new in the community, take advantage of this and get those nominations in sooner rather than later. So I'll pause in case anyone's scanning that QR code right now, and I'll move on. So other thing we wanted to recap really quick was DataDev Day. If you didn't get a chance, earlier in June, there was an event put on by Tableau, DataDev Day. It's usually one of two that occurs every year. Unfortunately, as of right now, I didn't look like the recordings were available, so I couldn't link to those just yet. But all of the sessions that occurred that day are recorded, and we'll make sure and share those through our DataDev TUG account as soon as those are available. And I called out here, look out for our next event in the fall or winter, but I really wanted some help from my fellow DataDev TUG leads here, because I was on for Q&A during DataDev Day, but I was also juggling work. So I wanted to see what were some of these standout sessions, and anyone on the call, feel free to send in the chat if you were on and had a favorite. What were some of our favorite or most impactful sessions from DataDev Day in June? My vote is for Jessica's, but I want to hear what you guys think. I see Paula trying to come off mute.
Yeah, right. Yes, definitely. I love Jessica's presentation. Like, if your background is not really like data dev, her presentation was like a true inspiration to get into data dev. Like, yeah, she just explained her journey and how she got into data dev, and it was just fantastic and really nice to hear from her.
Absolutely. Nick or Christian, I know you guys probably have some opinions with your involvement in DataDev Day. Anything you guys want to call out or highlight from the event?
Launching, why presented Launching? Will Sutton tried to present himself the part. Unfortunately, his part is not available on the time, but we had a recording for other talk session, and we will share the link. I think that at least many people contact me about the presentation in the 3D using VDS. They like it. Personally, the one that I like it more is Jessica. She basically break everyone with the spiring. Basically the message is simple. You don't need to be an engineer or a technical person. Anyone can understand and can use DataDev tools, Tableau DataDev tools. And that is the main message that you get in the session.
Awesome.
So great, Kyle. So my opinion, we look at the past of DataDev, all of these things is about automation, is about to facilitate our work. So every time that we see DataDev in the past 2 years, we are seeing some things to bring AI to Tableau and do some specific things. And the presentation about Jessica, about Chris, it's evidence of that. So we are using DataDev tools, all of this knowledge to power the use of AI. So I'm so happy about these technologies, about VDS, about the MECP that was the new launch. So I'm anxious for the news.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I mean, I think, we could probably sit here and recap all day on DataDev Day, but everybody look out for, like I said, we will socialize the links to the recordings as soon as they're available. We all keep referring to Jessica. If you're not familiar, it's Jessica Bautista, another DataDev ambassador, whose personal story about how she got into it is what she shared in DataDev Day. And it's really touching, really inspiring. So definitely check that one out, as well as all of the other sessions as soon as those recordings are available. And like I said, look out for another event in the fall or winter, and you might see some familiar faces. So with having recapped that, we will move on ahead. And on the next slide, so another announcement. So this is a good segue from what Christian just brought up. So as we know, AI is driving everything right now, and there's a couple of really cool new features or repos availabilities within Tableau that we wanted to call out. And those are the Tableau LangChain project and Tableau MCP, which is blanking on what that acronym means right now. But if you scan the QR code, you can go to the blog post here that will link you to both of those solutions. The LangChain one specifically, Christian did a presentation on in DataDev Day. So when that video is available, you can refer to that as well. But make sure, and if either of these things are relevant to you, or you're interested in Tableau plus AI, this is a great place to start. So go ahead and scan that QR code. And before we move into our challenges, one upcoming DataDev related event that we want to call out on today's event is Christian and Nick both are actually presenting at the DataFam TUG tomorrow at 6 p.m. ET. The DataFam TUG run by Chris McClellan out of Australia is really doing the Lord's work this year with so many of us that had presentations at TC. Unfortunately, they weren't recorded for one reason or another. Even though we had a trove of DataDev content, not all of it could be on stages where it was recorded. And that's not just DataDev content, but that's neither here nor there. Chris has really done a great job of scheduling a lot of folks who presented at TC in 2025, but were not recorded. So if you missed, for example, my session with Will Perkins, VisQL and Chill, that was recorded at the end of May, and that's now available. So Chris and Nick are going to record the session that they got to do for the DataFam TUG tomorrow. If you can't join it's a little late for Eastern, for Europeans, I get that, but it will be recorded, and Chris is really good about submitting those or getting those recordings posted quickly. So keep an eye out for that. We'll make sure and socialize those links as well. Obviously, it'd be even better if you could be there. So if you're in the US, try to be there, but we'll get those links sent out as well. We definitely want to support our fellow DataDev TUG users, our leaders here. And if you scan the QR code there, you can get straight to the RSVP page for that event, which is on Bevy, just like this one. All right. So real quick, if there's any newbies on the phone or on the line, we are the DataDev Tableau User Group, the DataDev TUG, but we are also the home of DataDevQuest, which is a community initiative. Think of it sort of like a Makeover Monday or a Workout Wednesday, but for DataDev, right? So each month we post challenges on the site, which is DataDevQuest.com. I will actually just jump out here real quick. And on DataDevQuest.com, like I said, each month we post new challenges. We give you a challenge. Usually we do two challenges, an intermediate and then a more advanced challenge, just so that we can get participation from all levels. Excuse me. And within the challenge, we will give you essentially, what we would like for you to try to accomplish, the objective, why you would learn this challenge, some things you might learn from doing this challenge, and then how we want you to submit it, which typically, it's best if you can get it on GitHub for us, if you can video the solution so we can see that it actually works and you can kind of explain what you're doing. That's great as well. Up at the top, we have the ability for you to submit your challenge. So if you want to submit it to us for a review, commentary, who knows, we might even feature your solution. We encourage you to do that as well. You don't need to do them in order. You don't need to do all of them. You can skip around to what interests you. But really, we just wanted a place where we could really put out like real world challenges for things that you might actually need to do using the various APIs and tools, and give people a chance to play around with things. So after the fact, we do post our suggested solutions, or sometimes the best solution from the community. So if you're looking at an older challenge, the solution will already be in there. If you're looking at one of the current challenges, it's up to you to get that solved from start to finish. So hopefully you'll join us here at DataDevQuest.com. You can also scan the QR code. We are also on Slack, on the DataDev Slack under DataDevQuest challenges. So if you have comments, suggestions, you're stuck, you want a second pair of eyes, reach out to us there. We're happy. We love to engage that way as well. So all about DataDevQuest. We want to keep this going. This has been something that I think we're all really proud of this year. And the more participation, the better. So if that being said, let's move on here. So Nick, I'm going to pass it off to you to cover the previous challenges.
Previous to that, Kyle, remember that we have a special guest.
Then I have this slide in the wrong order. My bad. Yes, we have a special guest, and I'll jump backwards. So, special guest, why don't you come up, if you don't mind, come off mute and introduce yourself.
You?
I see. Oh, Lee, can you hear us? You're a presenter, but you're on mute.
Oh. Just talk with okay, basically, Liu, last challenge that it was about BDS, and I was the person who created the challenge. His answer was amazing. His answer was more than I expected him to do in the challenge, and because of him, is that I basically modify the solution and I give extra stuff in there. And because of that, basically, we decide as a team and also with the help of Tableau to give an award. Then Liu received an award, the award of the DataDevQuest award, basically to do amazing stuff, and he will connect. Right now, he told me that he's taking a travel for the airport, and maybe he has a really bad connection. Maybe later can join and talk, and we are really happy with that. Li Liu give us the solution and everything.
Yeah, wouldn't be a development centered event if something didn't go wrong, right? It always happens. But hopefully we can get Lee back with a better connection towards the end, because as Christian said, I mean, he's been a rock star. I think he's participated in every single challenge. He's given us great feedback. He's definitely someone to know. So if you're not already connected with Lee, definitely I would recommend doing that. So,
Yeah.
but we'll go ahead and I know Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, I'll go back to you and let you do your portion here, because I know you said you have a work meeting. I don't want to mess that up for you. But all right, so I'll shut up and get out of your way. Go take it from here, Nick.
So first things first, I would like to thank you, everyone here in DataDevQuest, about this opportunity to submit a challenge here. So I am so glad, I'm so honored about that. So secondly, man, this challenge was awesome. Lilu, the Mohammed, the Statit. So you were awesome, guys. So I will share the real solution here. It's the simplest way that these guys did, but I will share as well the solution about these two guys and point out some specific things about these solutions. So I will share my screen right now and let me know if it was good. So are you seeing that?
We are. You have the infinity
so
here.
Great, guys. So only to recap here, and this solution, the challenge was, we have a hyper API in a Excel. So we need to transform this hyper API, this Excel, to a .hyper. It's a format that we need to use in Tableau to gather the data and start our dashboard. So the first challenge is the simplest way to change this table in Excel and change for Hyper using the Hyper API and using the pen tab. Okay. The intermediate is to join two tables using some like filters, the first and other filter in the second, and join in a one super table here like .hyper. Okay. So going to the solution right now, I have the first part here. So we need to install all of these libs and like Tableau Hyper API, install the pen tab. After that, we need to import. So here we are reading the file in a Excel. The file was shared in my GitHub, was written in the challenge task. So after that, we are reading the Excel. And the first part, about the challenge one is using pentap. So I said in the challenge about the times. It's good to compare about these two approaches, because when we are the wordings of pentap, it's less compared with Hyper API. But it's good to share about the processing time about these two approaches. So we need to start here to grab the first time. Now we are doing and creating the frame and transforming to Hyper. So it's good to know, because for the pentap we are using only one line to do all of these things. All of these things is here in this support of documentation. All of these things, the wording, the codes are here to support this part of the solution. So
hey, Nick.
Yep.
Nick, sorry to interrupt you. Could you maybe increase your font size just a little bit? It's hard for me to read, and I've got a pretty big screen, so I wonder.
Let me hear, guys. I don't know how to
Appearance, zoom in. Yeah.
Let me see it. I never need to do that.
You were in the right spot, actually. If you go to appearance, or sorry, view appearance,
Yeah.
And then zoom in, third from the bottom, all the way down.
Let
zoom
me
in.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's
good.
better.
Good guy. It's better.
Yes, that's much better.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So returning to here, that pentap is the simplest way. We are using only one line to create all of this stuff, to read the path and transform to pentap. Okay, and here we are grabbing the final time. So, and the processing, we have the path about this file created and the time we need to use to process all of this thing. The second part is using the Hyper API. So for the Hyper API is a little bit more complex, but we will reflect that we have more control for some things. But in the final is the same. So the objective, the functionality is exactly the same. So here we are reading the path and creating the table for this extraction. And we are building all of these these data types, because we need to say to Tableau Hyper API what is the total structure here. And we are defining the final table. Here we are processing the solution. We are using all of the same thing about the documentation here, present here. So it's exactly the same about these things. And we are extracting using this extract and transforming in a Hyper API here. And here we are grabbing the final time and doing the same. So we are the final path, and here the total seconds to process this file. So here we have the Hyper API winning, because we are using less lines, rows, comparing with another's. So second was totally the same, but we are changing the quantity of the files. So we are importing all the libs. We are using the two paths here, path of the supply chain path, the solar energy path, and calling the order list actors as the same written in the challenge in the DataDevQuest site. Here, you are using the pen tab, the same, the start time. Here, we are using a dictionary to set out the data frame 1, the data frame 2, and create the union here, okay? It's the same, it's almost the same code. But here we have like a query defined in the challenge because the weight is under the 50. In here, the actuals is the latitude, it's fewer than 40. So we are using these queries to submit a new table for that. And here we are using this filter to extract here in the final path. So here we have the located, and here the processing time in seconds. The version 2 is a little bit more complex, but using the same structure in the challenge 1, we are picking up the time here using the hyper process function to define the hyper. We are building the structure here for the table 1 in table 2, create the definitions, and insert the same data to the final path, okay? Using exactly the same structure here. So all of these two solutions are in the site, it's published. You can check it out in my GitHub as well. But I need to point out some of these solutions. The first is solution from Mohammed Satit. He created a post here. I will share this post for you guys. Let me see here. So it's good because when I talk about the comparing about Hyper API Pentap, the Mohammed created the structure similar about my solution, but here we have like a performance comparison about Pentap and Hyper API, because when we are using the number of rows, when we increase the number of the rows, the Hyper API has more time to process all of these things. Besides, Pentap is the most performance lib to process that. So we have this code comparing with this kind of graph here, and another benchmarking using this comparison about two ways, two approaches. And we have the Lilo solution. Lilo created for the TUG challenge, the beginner intermediate solution, the simple solution, transforming the Excel to Hyper. It's good, it's great. It's the following like the same structure about the alerts here, okay? And creating the winner about Pentap is the winner, or Tableau Hyper API is the winner when the time is bigger than comparing with each other. But we have the challenge, the bonus challenge here that Lilo created to choose what is the lib that you need to run your query based in the time. It's good enough. Let me let me show you in the intermediate is more clearly here. So it look created. So you can test your query using pen tab, or you can choose it using Hyper API. So I am glad, totally glad about these solutions. I need to point out this awesome commitment about this kind of challenge. I'm glad about all of these things. I'd like to thank you guys and congrats for these incredible solutions. And thank you again about this opportunity here, Kyle and Paula. And if you have some doubts about this challenge, about the way that we solve it, you can reach me in the Slack or reach me in LinkedIn, whatever. Okay. Thank you very much again, guys.
Thank you, Nick. Amazing job. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you so much, Nick.
All righty. Well, we will move it right along then. And now it is time for Paula to talk to us about the newest set of challenges for June.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds
take it
good.
away, Paula.
Thank you so much, Kyle. So let me just share my screen here. Okay, sounds good. Can you see my screen? PowerPoint?
We got it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so June challenges are up. They're in the website already. And we're going to switch gears a little bit this month. We are not going to be working with the Tableau APIs. We are going to be working with one of the Tableau developer tools, which is called Tableau Extensions. So for those of you that don't know what this is all about, is very simple. Is a way to run Python or R scripts all within Tableau, like without leaving the Tableau environment. You can do it in Tableau Desktop, Tableau Cloud, Tableau Server. And the best part of that is that you're going to be running your Python script, which is called like the TabPy Analytics extension, or if you are using R, it will be the RServe Analytics extension. But what the good thing about it is that it's going to return the data in a tabular or structured format. I don't know if maybe in the past you use it, because we have always been able to connect to Python or R through Tableau, but in the past you had to create some calculated fields, and it was more cumbersome. With this new developer tool or option, you just run your Python or your R script within Tableau, and you get your table, and then you can just use it in your workbook and drag and drop the fields, and it's just pretty awesome. So what are some of the benefits? Well, you can connect to external APIs, which is what we're going to be doing in the challenges. And you can just do all the transformations in your Python script. And obviously, if you want to do some additional uh, like calculations or enhancements in Tableau is fine, but the purpose of the challenge is to do also some Python transformations within the script. So here is just a background what table extensions is all about. But if we are going to talk about the challenges, they are very simple. We have the beginner and the intermediate one. The beginner, you will be on both of them. You will be connecting to it's called the Juggle API. This is a website. It's like a job search engine. So you can search for jobs, and they provide a free API. And what we're going to be doing in the beginner challenge is we're going to connect to this API, and we are going to get some live job postings. Then we're going to do a little bit of parsing within the Python script, because one of the fields the API returns is location. And the way it returns the location, it says, for example, Boston, MA. So we are going to turn that into two separate fields, Boston and Massachusetts, or MA, the state. And then we're going to use that table to create a dashboard. I'm just gonna go to the posting in a second to show you a little bit more about that. But the second or intermediate post or challenge will be the same thing, but we are going to be more advanced. So instead of just having a static, like like searching for one keyword at a time and only being able to to refresh that through the script, we're going to make it dynamic in the intermediate challenge. So you are going to create two parameters where you're going to be able to search for a specific job or keyword and a location. And to be able to do that with table extensions, you need to use custom SQL and like a lightweight database. In this case, we're going to be using DuckDB. So the challenge here will be to make it dynamic and be able to like live search for different jobs. So let me switch to the posting here, because what I did with the challenges, I'm giving you a guide so you don't have to start from scratch. I'm already giving you the steps, at least the initial steps, how to get your setup, like your environment, like app, like how to create your, like how to go and get your API. This is the website where you need to go. You just need to fill out this information. Don't worry about providing like real like job positions or websites. Just put in whatever, and within seconds you will get your key. Make sure that you save that key. And here I'm giving you a step by step, like what you need to do, like get your API, then how to test this, like your key, make sure that your key is working. So you want to test this out in Python first before you start trying to connect with Tableau. Here I'm giving you some information, like the structure of the data, if you want to look at it, and because you are going to need this to transform your, like make the transformations in your Python script. So just study the, how the data is returned. Here I'm giving you, if you have never set up NumPy in your Tableau environment, I'm giving you some information how to set it up. And then in here, something that is very important, and I think is a little bit strange, is that you, in order to get the table extension option, you need to use a dummy data source. Like you need to use a data source to begin with, because I'm going to show you here in a second. Let me bring Tableau. Because if you have Tableau, we need to get to the data source like window to be able to drag the table extension. But when you open up Tableau, the only thing that you have in here is connect to data, and you have data source in here. But yeah, the only way to do it is getting a data source. So you can create a dummy data source. I have created this dummy CSV, which is just 2 columns and it's like empty. And then from here, you have the option to drag your table extension. Once you get to this screen, you can actually remove this data source and just bring the table extension object. And here is where you're going to be writing your Python code. So I hope you enjoyed the challenge. I think it's really awesome because you're going to be working with a live API, pulling all those jobs. Once you get this working, the idea is that you create a dashboard. It doesn't have to be like super beautiful dashboard, but just create a dashboard where you demonstrate that you're connecting to the live API and that you have transformed your location field. Here are the steps for the challenge. Just there are a couple of suggestions of what to do. Like, for example, the ID and salary are coming in a particular format. So you want to review if you need to do something special in your Python script to bring that in. Also, giving you some guidelines. The started script that was provided only pulls in 30 jobs. The idea is that you get at least 120 jobs. Feel free to bring in more, and feel free to modify this and go above and beyond. But the request here is to get at least 120 jobs, and then do the parsing within Python. Obviously, you could do this in Tableau, but the idea is that you do it through the Python script, and then you create your dashboard. So again, I'm providing a lot of like steps and guides how to do it, how to get started. So if you have never worked with table extensions before, don't feel intimidated because I'm giving you the step by step, and all you need to do is worry about enhancing this script to bring in additional jobs and do the parsing for the location. So that's the beginner challenge. The advanced or intermediate challenge, as I said, is going to be a dynamic, be able to have two parameters in your dashboard, one for the location and one for the keyword, and dynamically, like live, search for new jobs. Um, so to do that, you need to use a custom SQL. So instead of using the dummy data source, you are going to need to use the custom SQL. And then in this example, I'm showing you how to do it with DuckDB. So there are some instructions how to connect to DuckDB, get this up and running, and then yeah, again, I'm giving some guidelines what needs to be done, and here is the challenge. Pretty much do the same thing as the first script. The only thing we are going to be adding will be those two parameters, the keyword and the location parameter. So this is these are the challenges for June. I don't know, Kyle, did we have any questions from the team?
No, I think just to back up what you were saying, like about you gave a lot of background information on how to get started. It's been a long time since I've done anything with a table extension, but this really makes me want to do it again and dive in. So if anybody looking, Paola did a great job of making it super simple to get started with the table extension part of it. So if that part's not necessarily your jam, don't worry. The instructions are really easy to follow, and then you can get into the meat and bones of the challenge. And once you set it up for one, you can basically use it for the other. You're just building on top of what you learned. So great job setting these up, Paola.
Okay, sounds good. So that's all I have. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or anything. Yeah, feel free to reach out, and look forward to reviewing and seeing your submissions.
Awesome. Well, Paola, if you wouldn't mind, there you go, perfect. You can read there. All right, and so we're going to give this another shot. So I was DMing Lee on the side. He says he thinks his internet might be a little bit better. So Lee, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you all hear me?
Yay!
Great.
Yay.
Awesome.
Well,
Welcome,
yeah.
Lee. Again, as we said before, you've been a huge supporter of this tug and our challenges from the beginning. You've even taught some of us a thing or two along the way, and just really given great feedback and great participation. So we just wanted to feature you here, and not to put you on the spot. No, you don't need to tell us anything. But if you just want to like introduce yourself, maybe tell us what got you excited about participating in these things.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kai. Hi everyone. My name is Lei. And I'm sorry I'm at the airport, so it's not on camera right now. But I'm sorry about internet. Is not stable at the first time. But yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone in the DataDev team for organizing this DataDev Tableau User Group, and this is a great resource for me and community and those who love working with Tableau APIs and looking to grow the programming skills. For me, I think some inspiration from doing the DataDevQuest challenge is because I'm feel curious about Tableau APIs. I'm curious why developers develop those APIs and what each API is using in the real world projects, or is there anything that is helpful for the user to use and reduce the time in extracting and repairing the data. The second thing is this is a great way to learn from experienced people in the community. I know each leader in the data dev team is working for a company with many experience here, and all of you are a good resource for me and everyone to learn. Um, um, and that's the way to learn. I think is doing the challenge in DataDevQuest that you all created, and all of those are free. Instead of buying book, reading, doing the challenge, now we have in DataDevQuest, you can practice with the challenge. And whenever I need the help, I go to the Slack channel, and everyone in the DataDev channel is really nice. And I see Jordan is really active on the Slack channel when I have the questions. Um, yeah, and the final point, I think from those points, I can gain more experience in solving the problem and the critical thinking skills after doing the challenge. And later, I can build a good portfolio after this, doing this challenge.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lei. Again, we appreciate you, keeping us honest with the challenges, coming up with great feedback, always participating, and thank you for telling us a little bit more about your story here today. Kind of socializing the DataDevQuest message. We really appreciate it. We hope to see more of the amazing things that you do and continue to do into the future.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kai. Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt with Paula, the data dev shirt. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Gotta have tricks. Love it. Love it. I should have thrown mine on, but I was in the office earlier and I forgot before we started. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lilu. We really appreciate you participating, and as Cal said, to spreading the word about the challenges and the data dev quest community. So thank you so much, and yeah, look forward to
Thank you.
continue seeing your settings.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Lei. Well, that brings us to the end of our scheduled content for today. I do want to throw up the slide that we always show at the end, which is we really want you to join the DataDev community officially. If you're not, if you just stumbled across our event on Bevy, or this is your first DataDev event, join us on Slack, right? So if you see on the screen, these are all of our DataDev ambassadors. So some folks that were on the call today, some folks that are on our leadership team, and some other folks from the wider DataDev community. But we're lucky as a community within the Data Fam. We have our very own Slack space. So there is the Tableau community Slack space that came out shortly after TC this year, but the DataDev space has existed for a while. And I think some folks like Catherine and Britt and Kevin at Tableau recognize that this is sort of a unique space with unique challenges, DataDev being a unique space, unique challenges, unique questions, unique conversations. So we have our very own space on Slack. And that includes channels regarding things like the REST API, the Hyper API, the VizQL data service. So any tool, tips and tricks, best practices, help me, I'm stuck, related to the APIs or developer tools for Tableau, there's someone on the DataDev Slack who can help you, whether it's one of us, whether it's some random person in the community who's already struggled with it. So scan that QR code and go ahead and join us there. We'd love to have you. If you know other folks who maybe aren't on the meeting today, but do DataDev related stuff and could use a resource like Slack, please share it. We want to cast the net as far and wide as we can. So last thing that I'll say, after we end the event today, you should get a link from Bevy that gives you a chance to leave feedback on the event. So, for instance, today was one of the first times that we featured a community member who actually came on and spoke with us. We featured challenges that weren't written by our leadership team. We want to learn and grow and evolve this and make it more interactive. So if there's anything about any feedback or notes that you have about the format of these sessions or the challenges, please share us, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. We want to know. Let us know if there's other like segments or things that you think we should highlight during these meetings, because like I said, we want to deliver the content, the DataDev relevant content that matters to the people who are on this call. So if you get that link, you should get that link after the event wraps. If you could take a few minutes and fill it out, we'd be very, very appreciative. And join us on DataDev Slack. And Paula, anything before we wrap for today?
No, thank you so much. Yeah, I think you did an excellent job hosting. Thank you so much. It was great session. And thank you everyone who joined us today, and to Lilu, everybody. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you next month and seeing the solutions to the challenge.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again in about a month.
Thank you. Bye-bye.